Hey guys, what's going on? And in this video I visit the Classic Car Museum in Gosford, and I'm going to be running you through a few cars. So there's a Mazda Cosmo, I'm not exactly sure what it's called. Anyway, this thing stood out, and then there was also a 1995 Acura NSX there, and then a Pontiac Trans Am, so that was cool. There was a Mustang Match 1, and yeah. The green was a bit odd, and yeah, very, very odd colour for it. Then, of course, there was an Aston Martin Db5, and this thing was very cool. I think it may be the first time I've seen the coupe version of it. And there is the McLaren 650S. 650S, seen many of them before, but I really like the spec with the orange stitching inside, the orange brake calipers, and the nice grey. And of course there's a DMC DeLorean, so this thing was in its aluminium colour, of course, and there's the interior. Very, very nice. I like the DeLorean. It's very cool and very, very nice car. There's it from the other side, and here's a little front angle for you. It says DMC, and I actually got to sit inside of this thing, so yay, inside of a DeLorean. This is the first left-hand drive car I've ever actually sat in. Yeah, very cool. Well, sat in the driver's seat, that is. I sat in left-hand drive cars. There was dual wing doors there before, and then DMC. Next we move on to a Gallardo, and this was in the other yard. There's a Ferrari there, I'm not exactly sure. That's a 308 GTS. Next to it is I think another 308. Then there's a 360 Mondiale and a 575M. Here's a Mazda Rx-7, very rare. I think this one was like 57 in the world. There's a GTR Premium, 2009 R35. Very, very cool. I love it in the red. It's very, very nice. I love the specking on it. Then there is the De Tommasos. These I've really taken. And you can see in the background there's a Ferrari F50, an Enzo, and an F40. Anyway, we'll get back to them later. Aston Martin Db5? No, that's the V12 Vanquish, just there. And there's a Viper SRT10. ACR10, actually. I'm not sure. It says on the side of it. I think it's ACR10. Viper something. Anyway, here's some E-types. So E-type, E-type, and then there's this other Jaguar there. I think the one next to it's an XK120. No, it's not an XK120. There's a few Ferraris, 360 and 308 GTS. No, that's Maserati. Then two other Maseratis down here as well. And then moving on, we have the Jaguar XJR15. 53 of these on the planet, so extremely rare. Then we move on to the world's first hypercar, the Jaguar XJ220. Now, 271 of these things. And the spec on this is really cool. I really like this kind of brownish red on it. It really looks cool. It's crazy cool. It's the world's first hypercar. World's first. Anyway, Ferrari 500M, I think that is something. There's so many Ferraris. This place is the place to go if you like Ferraris. So there's a Dino there, and then Dino. Next to that, I'm not sure. I think that's another No, I keep saying everything's a 308. Don't know why. This red one with the black roof, that's definitely a 308. I know that. And I think the one next to it's also a 308. It might be. Yeah, I think that's a 308 as well. Then that's a 400 something, and that's a what was it? Yeah, an F33. And then there's a Testarossa. And yeah, there's a few of the cars. There's a 3.0 CSL, then there's an M3, and there's a whole row of M5s here. So it's a little trend. All the different years of M5s. There's an 850 Ci. I like those things a lot, and you can see in the background a few Lamborghinis. I'll get to them later. Anyway, Slr Mclaren, then the 300 SL Guling and stuff. And then there we have the Porsches. So a lot of Porsches. Very nice. I show later the Carrera GT. They had a Carrera, yes I know. This is actually, by the way, the Australia's largest private collection. There's a 911 GT3 RS, that grey one. And yeah, world's Australia's, largest private collection. So yeah, that was cool. There's the SLS again, the 300 SL. Yeah, 300 SL there, and then the SLR Mclaren. First time I've seen an SLR Mclaren, and it's my favourite personal colour for it, silver. I really like the silver on it. It represents many things to me. I don't know why. And then there's the F50, the Enzo, and I'll take a bit of a better look at these things. There's the F50, of course, then the Enzo Ferrari, strictly limited to 400 units, 399 for the public, and I think the 400th was for the Pope. Then we have the F40 again. Many F40s. I see a lot of them. Here's the Carrera GT. Nice grey Carrera GT. It's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I never actually thought I would see one of these things in real life unless I went to somewhere like Europe or somewhere with those exotic cars. I never thought I'd see one in Australia. But there you go. Proven wrong. Here's the Enzo again, and the F40 and the F50, SLS again. And these cars are just so cool. I stayed here for an hour just looking at all these cars. I wish I could have stayed longer though, because they're just brilliant. There's the SLR again. I cannot get over it. It's very cool. McLaren badge on the side. Sadly it wasn't the 722, but still I like the original SLR the most. Then we have the 599 GTB something, and there's one of these in Australia and 40 of them in the world, so strictly limited, and you can see just behind that is the LaFerrari, so I'll get to that now. LaFerrari, the second one I've seen within the same year. I saw one of these a few months ago, and there's a mirror, and I saw one of those last weekend as well. So yes, that's the second LaFerrari I've ever seen. So this is very, very cool. 499 of them. Then, of course, we have this nice light green mirror and orange stripes with like white on the side. I don't know. I like the green, but why the stripes? Seriously. Anyway, Murcielago. We have a nice Murcielago. Then next to that, a 2005 Gallardo. I think it's 2005. Then we have a Diablo VT. There's 400 of these things, and I never knew that. And then we have a Diablo SV. There's 100 SVs, so nice rare car, 100 of them. And then next to that is the Lamborghini Jalpa. So this thing, there was a number of units, like 45 or something, not very many. And then we have a Countach 25th anniversary edition. This was like 671, I think. Then we just have the regular Countach, and yeah, they don't look much different. We have another Lamborghini. I can't actually pronounce the name, but it's quite similar to the Jalpa, and there's not many of them in the world either. Then we have a few Lancias and the SLR. Then back to the LaFerrari. I just cannot get over it. It may be my favourite car in this whole collection, even though there are some rarer cars. And oh yeah, I took a few photos as well. I brought my Hot Wheels one, took a few photos. That was quite cool. Anyway, LaFerrari, very, very awesome car. So overall, this is a very, very good place. You should probably go see it. It's in Sydney. It's called the Classic Car Museum in Gosford. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's the name. Anyway, that was it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the Car Craziness channel for more of this stuff. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.